I look at this as a green tidal wave with Tesla leading the charge. And I think we're going to start to see potentially 900,000 units, trajectory that out, even though it's been obviously a painful sell-off for Tesla and EV names. Now, I think this is just the start of a massive rally, 30 to 40%. $1,000 our price target for Tesla, bull case 1,300. And I think this is a really golden buying opportunity. Now, we're in the second inning of this massive $5 trillion market. And I think the bears continue to sort of not see forest through the trees, in our opinion, as well as just what's happened, not just in Tesla, but the broader EV ecosystem that's being built here before our eyes.
Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So maybe you heard Tesla blew everyone away, even the Tesla bulls, with their record-breaking Q1 2021 deliveries and production numbers. In this video, I'm reacting to some comments from top-rated analyst Dan Ives over at WeBull Securities, who has a $1,000 price target on Tesla stock, a $1,300 bull case price target on Tesla stock, and is extremely bullish on the overall EV market. So let's get into the video. But first, hey guys, if you'd like to help out the channel and get up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $250 just for opening an account. And if you fund your account with $100, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $1,600. Unless you don't like free stocks, that is. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Let's get back to it.
Tesla was out with some major news and investors are excited this morning. The company announced that it delivered 184,800 cars in the first quarter of the year. The stock is up about 7% in pre-market trading following this news. And WeBull analyst Dan Ives out with a note this morning, calling that number a paradigm changer for the company. And Dan joins us now to discuss. Dan, appreciate you hopping on to talk about this news. So walk us through your thinking now, not just what you saw in the first quarter, but how you're now thinking about Tesla's trajectory for the rest of this year and beyond.
Yeah, and I think it was a game changer in terms of what we saw in 1Q. Whisper numbers were as low as 160, 165K, given chip shortage, as well as what we see in the S and X. I mean, I think China's skyrocketing growth, and that's worth potentially $150 per share of the story. And I look at this as a green tidal wave with Tesla leading the charge. And I think we're going to start to see potentially 900,000 units.
So Dan currently expecting Tesla to push up towards around 900,000 deliveries for the full year 2021. Phenomenal growth considering Tesla delivered 500,000 in 2020. However, I think Dan is massively underestimating what Tesla will do. As I've mentioned, I personally believe Tesla's going to come much closer to 1 million vehicles delivered in the full year 2021 than they will 900,000. In fact, even my bear case is close to 940,000 units delivered. Let's have a look. Here we are looking at my bear case for 2021 deliveries for Tesla there, 939,250, almost 90% year-over-year growth. And of course, this is my bear case. My bull case, if things go really smoothly and everything goes right, 1.1 million units delivered. And yes, I know this sounds absolutely bananas. Then again, if somebody had explained the rate that Tesla today, a $600 billion market cap company, would be growing at, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%, anywhere in that range, you would have said they were completely mad. But Tesla's doing exactly that. As I mentioned, 500,000 deliveries last year, they'll be closer to 1 million this year. Who else is doing that? The answer? Nobody. That's why it does sound insane, because it is.
Even though it's been obviously a painful sell-off for Tesla and EV names, now I think this is just the start of a massive rally, 30 to 40%. $1,000 our price target for Tesla, bull case 1,300. And I think this is a really golden buying opportunity.
Just to provide some context there, Dan Ives' base case for Tesla stock, $1,000 per share over the next 12 months, effectively expecting 50% growth in Tesla stock over the next year. And the bull case, $1,300 per share, basically double from where we are here, 100% growth over the next 12 months. This is what he's aiming for. And to be honest, I think that this is actually a reasonable ballpark for Tesla stock to arrive at in about 12 months' time. They continue to ramp. New factories under construction will begin delivery in the second half of this year. New implementations of new cost-saving techniques, procedures, etc. We've got the Gigapress that's now being reintegrated into prior production lines, etc. Tesla's going to be cleaning up on all fronts. Oh yeah, and by the way, there's that whole full self-driving thing.
Hey Dan, it's Julie here. How has Tesla avoided the chip problem that all the other automakers seem to be having? I mean, you need as many, if not more chips for a Tesla, I would imagine, as you do for a Ford F-150. So why isn't Tesla having the same production issues?
Yeah, and it's a great question, Julie. I mean, it's still about 10% headwind. So I think it just shows without the chip shortage, we're probably looking at a 200K number. And I think it just really speaks to it's the pent-up demand. Right now we're seeing it, of course, China and Europe leading. We think China can be 40% of deliveries for Tesla by next year. But look at what happened last week. Biden kicking off the tidal wave, the green tidal wave in the U.S., 2% of automotive today. We think that goes to 10% in the next 4 to 5 years.
This is a very revealing comment from Dan. Despite the fact that he's very bullish on Tesla stock, expecting a minimum 50% increase and maybe a doubling in Tesla stock's price over the next 12 months, Dan is expecting over the next half decade, give or take, that the total share of EVs as a percent of all new vehicles will only grow from around 2% to around 10%, a 5x increase. This sounds enormous, this sounds huge, but in the context of an exponential disruption, this actually sounds like an enormous underestimation, in my opinion. I think this is going to be much closer to 25+%, and the only reason we don't get to that 25+% mark is if legacy automotive manufacturers who currently today are producing tens upon tens of millions of internal combustion engine vehicles cannot transition fast enough. And if that's the case, they're fucked. I mean, like, fucked. Out of business, fucked. Not just like slow to catch up, fucked. I mean out of business because they were too slow. If they're not making those electric vehicles, somebody else will be.
And when you look at EVs, these are stocks that continue to re-rate. You see it even in a GM. GM is going to continue to get re-rated, not as an auto company, but a disruptive technology player.
Now, call me an obnoxious, arrogant Tesla fanboy if you will. Accurate assessment, to be honest. But I'm going to say it anyway. The only disruption that General Motors will be doing in terms of electric vehicles is disrupting the brain activity of some of the dopey retail investors currently buying their stock because they think they stand a chance. Remember, this is the same dopey company who publicly partnered, very openly, very loudly partnered with a gigantic scam of a company, allegedly, Nikola Motor Corporation, who had nothing but vaporware. Despite all their due diligence, they didn't discover anything, yet at the time that they were doing their due diligence, there were YouTubers like this guy pointing out the fact that Nikola looked like a gigantic scam. I mean, does that not tell you everything you need to know about General Motors? Really? Oh wait, how about this one? Have you heard of Lordstown Motors? Yeah, that company that looks just like Nikola. Yeah, a lot of false promises, inflated numbers. Yeah, that's right, Hindenburg taking them down again. Yeah, okay, guess what? General Motors has an investment in Lordstown Motors as well. I'm not fucking kidding, okay? Mic drop moment, just, they're dead. They're dead. The people steering the ship are incompetent. The engineers don't know how to make electric vehicles. They're encumbered by too much legacy BS. They don't know what they're doing. They're spending billions of dollars a year trying to advertise their internal combustion engine vehicles to dopey consumers who don't think for themselves. This company is screwed. Now, you guys will know I never give investment advice, but on the odd occasion, I will offer up just a small amount of how to not be a fucking idiot advice. This is one of those occasions. If you think that a legacy automotive manufacturer can simply put out a press release, rebrand, create a new logo, make a rendering or even an animated 3D rendering of their new electric vehicle, and now suddenly they're going to be able to successfully compete with Tesla, transition, spend the tens of billions of dollars weaning off internal combustion engine production, moving into electric vehicles, spend the billions of dollars on R&D, spend the billions of dollars ramping up production, the new equipment, etc., and you think they can genuinely compete with a company like Tesla, and you believe them at their word without any actual evidence that they'll be able to pull this off, you, sir or madam, are unequivocally a fucking moron. And by the way, don't worry, morons can still actually make money in the stock market investing. Don't get me wrong. GM could go to the moon. Volkswagen could go to the moon. Toyota could go to the moon. They could all go to the moon. I just personally think the odds of that happening, the mountain they need to climb first before that's likely, it's going to be difficult. Mount Everest-like. So, yeah, hey, you do you. Again, I'm not giving investment advice, but I'm just giving how to not be a fucking idiot advice.
Dan, you mentioned the Biden administration. You know, how much is a new EV tax credit worth to Tesla? Are we talking, over the next 5 years here, it could be the type of profit driver that takes Tesla shares to, what, 2,000 a share? Who knows?
Yeah, Brian, I think that's the key, because if you look at it today, if me or you or anyone else goes in to buy a Tesla at $7,500 tax credit, you're not getting for a Tesla or a GM. They've already gone through that 200K ceiling. I believe as part of the infrastructure bill, the 2.3 trillion, you see those restored. So the tax credits come back to the Tesla and GM, and we're hearing out of our contacts in the Beltway that 7,500 could potentially be 10,000 in terms of a credit. And that's going to be a massive catalyst, not just for Tesla, but for the EV ecosystem in the U.S. as part of this green tidal wave. I think we're just starting to see this all play out domestically.
Who knows exactly where these EV incentives will wind up at the moment? Everything's negotiable. Could be $10,000, could be $7,500, could be $5,000, could be anything. It could be per automaker, could be unlimited, could be for the customer so they can go to any automotive manufacturer and there's no caps per company like Tesla and GM. I don't know how it all shakes out, but I do know this. If, in the most bullish scenario, there's a $10,000 incentive for customers buying new electric vehicles, that's going to put the starting price of Tesla's Model 3 in the $20,000 range, $27,000, $28,000 for the standard range plus. I mean, do I even need to say anything else? If customers can acquire a Tesla for $20-something thousand, it's game over.
Dan, is that tax credit, is that factored into your $1,300 price target on Tesla?
That's the difference between 1,000 being our base case, 1,300 being the bull. And I think it's something that, despite this emotional bull-bear story, I think lost maybe in the noise in terms of what this could mean in terms of that tax credit boost for Tesla and EVs. And that's why if there was a quarter they were going to stumble, it was 1Q. And that's why I think whispers continued to move down. You look what we're seeing on Model 3 and Model Y. When that number came out Friday, it almost fell off the chair in terms of just how strong it was.
I have a funny feeling that Dan Ives isn't the only Tesla stock analyst who almost fell out of his or her chair upon seeing their blowout Q1 numbers. Let me know in the comments below. I know most of you watching are hyper bullish on Tesla stock. Did you guys expect Tesla to deliver the number of vehicles they did in Q1? Was it a surprise to you as well? It certainly was to me, and I'm a bull.
We also, Dan, just got those XPeng numbers for the quarter too, and it looks like just over 13,000 is what XPeng delivered, 13,340 units for that company. When is Tesla going to see some more real competition in this market? I mean, it's coming. We all know it's coming. At some point, it's going to be maybe more problematic for Tesla, maybe not. But when are you kind of expecting that, and what is that going to look like?
Yeah, and when you look on the XPeng, similar to what we saw with NIO, as well as some other Chinese players, strong numbers coming out of the board in China. But right now, it's a $5 trillion market over the next decade. Big enough ocean for more than one boat. There's going to be many winners here. I mean, we have 130 to 140 players going after the EV market. And of course, they're going to have some erosion of market share at Tesla. But this is a rising tide lifts all boats in terms of EVs. That's what you're seeing in China. And I think that's what you're going to see in the U.S. I think GM, Fisker, Faraday, and others as they really dive into the deep end of the EV pool.
Dan, kind of related to that point, what is the most common bear retort that you're getting these days on Tesla? Is it that idea that all this competition is coming into the market? A couple of years ago, it might have just been a balance sheet type question. Is it that competition question now as people look out 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, and I think many of the bears continue to underestimate the green tidal wave and everything that Tesla's doing. I think many of these bears are the same that were probably negative on Tom Brady coming out of the draft in '94. And
did Dan Ives just imply that Tesla is the GOAT, and for anyone to doubt them would be tantamount to doubting the greatness of Tom Brady? Fair point.
It just speaks right now. The biggest bear argument is competition. Price cuts is how they're ultimately catalyzing demand. But that's not true because now you're starting to see price increases. And the pure numbers just speak to right now. We're in the second inning of this massive $5 trillion market. And I think the bears continue to sort of not see forest through the trees, in our opinion, as well as just what's happened, not just in Tesla, but the broader EV ecosystem that's being built here before our eyes.
So there we have it, folks. Dan Ives upgrading Tesla stock on the back of this blowout Q1. $1,000 price target in the base case and a $1,300 price target in the bull case. Once again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Were you guys surprised by Tesla's Q1 blowout, or was it just me? I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget, if you'd like to help out the channel and get up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $250 just for opening an account. And if you fund your account with $100, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $1,600. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.